Hello friends, how's it going? I've been gone for so long, but today I'm finally going to record this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous. I haven't been in front of camera talking to you in a while. I haven't posted a video in over a month, sorry. But we're gonna do this. I'm gonna apologize first of all because while I have been filming on and off for the past month and a half or so, there's no thread kind of stringing things together. I just have random footage of me drawing and packing and all these disjointed things. So I decided that for this video, it's going to be focused on answering a bunch of your questions while I have all the footage as the main visual, and you're just going to have me in the corner or in the background talking to you. And I hope it will make for a very chill and a very relaxing video slash audio for you to enjoy. And here we go. Okay, while I look for all these questions, let me give you a mini update of what's been happening with my life and in the Yates Vica household. I got sick in July. It was not COVID. I got COVID tested and it came back negative, but I was down for quite a bit. Honestly, I think it's just my body finally giving up on me because I had been essentially working nonstop on shop things and illustration things. And you know, when you're studying for a test and you've been studying for so long and prepping so hard, and then you take the test and you're fine, and then after the test you just crash. And that's basically what happened after my June shop update. It was the most overwhelming shop update I've ever had because of the sheer number of orders that I received, which I'm very, very grateful for. By the way, thank you for your support, but my body couldn't handle it and I got sick for a while. It was a long while. I had to take antibiotics and now I'm all better, thankfully. And that's why I've been gone for a bit, and that's why I've been MIA. So please forgive me, but here I am seeking to answer your questions. I don't think I'll be able to answer all of them, but I will do my best to answer most of them. Here we go. Question number 1. Victoria / kindness gal. What have been the highs and lows of running your own shop? Let's start with the positives. The highs. It's incredibly rewarding. I've always had a love for stationery goods and paper and stickers and cute things. So getting to be the person who makes those things and essentially putting what's in my head and making it into this physical thing that I can use and that other people can use, it's a good feeling. It's also a high in a sense that I haven't been doing this for very long at all. Guys, I don't know how much you know about me, but I've literally only been drawing and only been at this for 2 years. I have had my Etsy shop for less than a year, but I can tell you that I put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, research, hard work into this because I'm very much an all or nothing kind of person. And once I set my mind to something and decide that I'm going to do something, I'm going to pour 120% of my time and energy into it. So it's a rewarding feeling to know that something that I love and discover that I'm passionate about is actually panning out, if that makes sense. Another, I guess, highs, having the milestones in my shop. I have reached over 1,000 sales now. I think I'm at 1,200 or 1,300 and all 5-star reviews. I think I have one like 3.5 star or 3-star. But yeah, mostly positive reviews from people. And also another huge positive is getting to meet so many nice people and genuinely forming friendships with them. You know this about me, I'm an introvert, and I'm always just kind of stuck in my head, and getting to connect with different people because of my shop and because of illustration, it's a nice feeling. Lows, oh boy, it's a lot of work. You probably already know that, and if you didn't, you should know it's a lot of work. I will encourage you not to follow my example, but when things are insanely busy, I go to bed at like 6 a.m. because I'm packing orders, wake up at 11 or 12 and start my day. And I work for 12, 14 hours a day, and that's not good. That's not good. Like, maybe you can have 1, 2, 3 days in a month doing that and survive, but if you're doing it daily, would not recommend. When you're a business owner, you're constantly consumed by thoughts about your shop. How do I make it better? What else can I do differently? And it can be really overwhelming, and it can lead to serious consequences like getting sick for a month, and that's not good. So that's the low. That's the lowest so far. Miss Mina, hi there, love finding your channel and can't wait for your Patreon. Which do you prefer, traditional or digital? When it's an initial sketch and it's just about getting my ideas down, definitely traditional, because I don't know, it feels less final. It feels like with pencil on paper, I'm allowed to make a mess. On digital, for me, I don't feel as free. So I guess when it comes to making final illustrations or final output, that's for production, definitely digital. But if it's for fun and for experimentation and just trying things out, traditional. Elizabeth, my questions are, what is your favorite music and what is your favorite pie? Favorite music, I like indie rock, folk, indie pop, math rock. I'll try to remember to leave a list of artists and bands that I think you should check out. I've actually been playing around with the idea of starting a Spotify playlist and sharing it with you guys. I don't know if you'd be interested in that. But yeah, that's the kind of music I'm into. Usually I tend to gravitate towards songs and music that I can play or that I can imagine myself playing. I also am super into music with a lot of layers, where like there's so much going on, and I like closing my eyes and kind of getting lost in the music and kind of drowning in the music, if that makes sense. And I get to listen and observe like little nuances and figure out, ooh, what instrument is that? Ooh, this chord shift and change is really interesting, and I get to apply that into my music or just be inspired by it. I hope that answered your question. Favorite pie, pecan. I still don't know how to say it. Pecan pie. I also really like key lime pie. I've tried making key lime pie and it was a failure. If you have recipes, hit me up. Lazy Annie, hi, new to your channel. My question is, what got you started in your super cute Etsy career, and how do you keep finding new ways to stay creative / inspired? From personal experience, I find it hard to stay consistent, and in part is not having confidence in myself. Totally understand. I'm actually gonna do a separate video on my illustration journey, but the short story is I moved to the US. I had nothing to do with my time. I was stuck at home, and I just decided that I wanted to paint. And that's what I did. I painted. And at some point I decided that I wanted to give it a shot as a career. And it just worked out from there, fortunately. How do you keep finding new ways to stay creative / inspired? I consume a lot of content. I try to look at other artists for inspiration. And by artists, I don't necessarily mean just illustrators. You can be inspired by architects. You can be inspired by musicians or chefs, you know. When I feel like I'm getting stuck, I try to distance myself from my art for a bit and just try to see what other people are doing and what other illustrators or other musicians are doing, and try to immerse myself in other people's worlds, and hopefully I can get out of the funk. In terms of staying consistent, it's really just discipline and repetition, but also starting small. You know, Inktober is coming up, and 30 days can seem like not a big deal to some people when they commit to Inktober, but 30 days is a lot. And it's easier to beat yourself up when you feel like you're in the middle of it and you lose steam because life happens, or you get tired and you just don't have the time or energy to finish it. My suggestion is to start small, because let's say you commit to, I'm gonna draw once a week. That's a lot more doable. When you accomplish that and you stick to actually doing the 4 things, it gives you that little boost of confidence. And sometimes that's all you need. A little boost is all you need. So my recommendation and advice is to understand what your limitations are, and to understand that getting something done, even if it's small to other people, it can have a big impact on you. So do something that's doable, and maybe that'll hopefully give you a boost and help you with your confidence. Viv, are you a full-time artist / designer? And if yes, how do you find it? Yes, I'm a full-time creative. I always say like I'm an illustrator, maker, and musician. So I get to do this all day, every day, and I'm very, very grateful. Definitely want to know more about how you got into making music and how you are so talented. This is from Tana? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Thank you for being so sweet. How I got into making music. Well, I come from a musical household, I guess. Most, if not everyone in my family knows how to sing or play an instrument. And I was raised by my grandparents, and Papa, my grandfather, would always play music in the house, especially on weekends, just his vinyl player, just like blasting all this old-timey music, and everybody would just be singing all the time. And I guess it's just in my blood. That's how I developed a love for music. If you want to know specifically how I got into writing music and playing music, I started playing the piano when I was 8 because my grandfather surprised us with piano lessons one day. And in high school, I went to an all-girls Catholic school. I had my first ever male teacher. Oh God. This is gonna be like a lot of random embarrassing information about me. Guys, don't judge me. And he asked the class, it was the first day of school, so he asked everybody to introduce themselves in front of the class, tell him a little bit about ourselves. And you know, I was like, 13? This dorky, awkward kid. Not that that's changed much. You know, when he asked about our hobbies, I wanted to impress him. It was so dumb. But I said, oh yeah, hi, my name is Vica. I do this and this. I like writing. Also, I like to write songs, which was not true at the time. But I thought, you know, it would impress him. So he was like, oh, that's really cool. Why don't you sing us something? I ended up, and I told my friend about this, but I ended up singing an original song that a friend of mine had written. His band wrote it. And I felt like such a massive fraud. I felt so guilty that I had made up this lie and had to prove myself in front of the class and in front of this teacher that I had a crush on. And after that day, I kid you not, I felt so guilty that I told myself that I would start writing songs because I didn't want to be a liar and I didn't want to be a fraud. And I started writing songs after that. So it's kind of like literally like fake it till you make it. By the way, I have some nice oolong tea with honey because I know I'm going to be talking a lot in this video. Cheers! I hope you're having tea with me. Or some kind of snack or some kind of nice beverage. Okay, that's how I got into making music. How am I so talented? This isn't the first comment I've received that said that. I get so awkward. Guys, you should know this about me. I'm very grateful for the compliments, but you know how awkward I am. And it's a mixture of like, yay, thank you, but also, awkward. I will tell you right now, what I do, everything I do is 80% hard work and effort, 20% talent. Again and again, I have proven it to myself that, yeah, it's nice to have that little boost from your genetics if you're like creative, but a lot of it, a huge chunk of it is hard work. And you should remember that, because somebody who's born, let's say a talented artist, you know, it's just in their blood, but doesn't practice and doesn't put in the hard work. And you compare that to somebody who's not necessarily like gifted with the genes, but who works hard daily and is dedicated to the craft. I would argue that the second person is more likely to achieve success in that field because everything takes work, no matter how talented you are. Which country are you from? I'm from the Philippines. I was born and raised in Manila. I moved to the US in 2018. Bridie's asking, how do you find inspiration for things to draw? Also, how is your channel so cute? Thank you. I don't know where I find inspiration. They're usually just silly things that make me laugh or giggle. Usually they're pun-based, because you know I'm a dork like that. But yeah, I guess they just come from my head. Or sometimes it's conversations that I have with Johnny because he also loves making puns. And we just laugh about something and that's how it works. Would you be open to doing mentorship? This is actually something that I considered. It's probably something that I'm gonna do in the future at some point. You know, I haven't been an illustrator for very long. Only 2 years or so. But before actually I went into illustration, I had a career in marketing and communications and I have 7 years experience. So I think a lot of the skills that I acquired in the workforce have helped me in some way along the way. And I do think I have some valuable information or valuable lessons that I can share. And I would love to be able to do that, but just not at this point in my career just yet. Probably in the future though. What is a color that you seldom work with and why? I don't use black a lot. Usually when an artwork calls for a dark color, I use very dark brown or a dark blue, but never black. And I don't know why, I feel like at some point I watched a video or listened to a podcast where somebody says, never just use the black that comes with your paint palette. Mix the colors to get a shade of black because then it will have more depth versus just using pure black. And it kind of just stuck with me and became a thing that I did. What do you wish you could tell your past self before you open an Etsy store? I would tell past Vica to just do it. To follow Nike's advice and just do it, and to be okay with making mistakes because she will pull through and she will learn. How do you deal with depression and whenever you're stuck? Oh God. Step 1 is to get some rest, get some distance from your work. I play Animal Crossing, I watch anime, I am obsessed with Haikyuu. I have watched it so many times, but on days when when I was sick, I watched anime, played Animal Crossing, and watched Kim's Convenience. And even though I was miserable because I was sick and in pain, I was grateful for the break because I felt like it gave me that sense of clarity to be able to step away and just think of other things aside from my business. I think rest is very important. But I'm sorry if you're dealing with depression or any kind of feeling of, uncertainty and feeling stuck. I can totally relate to that. Also, what helps me is journaling, because when I get things down on paper and it's not in my head, I feel like there's space to think about other things, if that makes sense. And sometimes just crying, just having a good cry. And if you can't cry on your own, watch a sad movie. Usually it's any kind of movie that has dogs in it or animals in it, and I'm a mess. I think like Johnny and I watched Finding Dory in theaters. 2 minutes in, I'm bawling and I'm a mess, but it's like really cathartic to cry every once in a while. Erica asks, what instruments can you play and which one do you like the most? I play guitar, piano, ukulele, a kalimba kind of. I have a mandolin as well. My favorite out of convenience, I guess, is the guitar. When did you decide, yep, time to open my shop? I decided it was time to open my shop when I kept making excuses not to open my shop. I think that's a common thing that other artists or makers do, is to obsess over all the details because we just want things to be perfect. When we launch, we want everything to be just right. And I kept making those excuses and it kept delaying. And at some point I just told myself, just set a date. It doesn't matter what date it is. What matters more is that you do it and push through with it. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in limbo and you're going to not do anything about it. So if you catch yourself being in that phase of, oh, I found yet another reason why I can't open, or, definitely do your prep work. But if you're just nitpicking, just do it. Do it, guys. Also, did you plan a lot before opening yours? Or was it more like, let's open and see how it goes? It was a little bit of both. I definitely did my research, like I mentioned. But again, when I was catching myself get stuck in that cycle of, oh, here's another reason why I shouldn't do it, I finally decided it's better to learn from my mistakes. A lot of people are asking for advice on starting a sticker shop. Again, I will make a dedicated video about my Etsy experience and shop experience in general. But general advice is figure out what you love creating that will cost you the least amount of effort and least amount of time, but will get you the most amount in return, if that makes sense. Like if it's something that you really enjoy doing, plus it's easy for you to make, plus it's something that your audience loves, that's kind of a pretty good indication that this specific product is gonna do well. And also stay true to the things you love that'll help you establish your brand. Don't just follow trends, even though it's good every once in a while to see what everybody else is doing, but don't get sucked into trends and stay true to what feels good for you and what makes you happy. Do you like being on Etsy and are you considering a website instead? I am considering opening a store or hosting my store on my website instead of Etsy because fees are insane. But at the moment, I have too much going on to be able to get to that at the moment. So at least for the rest of 2020, I think I'm gonna stay on Etsy, and probably next year I'm gonna move to a different website. I mean, I like Etsy in a sense that a lot of people have launched stores on Etsy, so there are a lot of references and a lot of advice you can get from other sellers. And you know, it is a marketplace, so you benefit from SEO and people coming across your store because of search. But I noticed if I look at my analytics, I bring in 80% of the traffic to my store straight from Instagram or YouTube or wherever. Only 20% is coming from Etsy search. So it will benefit me greatly if I just start and open a shop in my website, but I have just too much going on right now. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. Johnny's home. I can hear his keys. Welcome home. Hiya. Oh, here's a good question after you just came in. Do you believe in soulmates?
Oh.
Do you believe? Do you believe?
Yeah, I think that a soulmate.
Wait, come closer.
Okay.
Okay, do you believe in soulmates?
Yeah, I think soulmates evolve with you, so you can have multiple soulmates throughout your lifetime. But I think I am fortunate enough to have found my one and only soulmate.
Hiya.
Alrighty. Love you. Wash your hands.
I have a similar answer. I think it's definitely possible to have a lot of different soulmates, and it's all just about the person you choose to be with, and also the person that you want to be and you can imagine yourself being because of this person. Because different soulmates bring out different things in you, if that makes sense. But I do kind of believe in soulmates. And I think that's it. A lot of these are repeats. So I'm gonna stop there. I have been talking for so long. I'm so sorry. You're probably so sick of me by now. Yeah. I hope that was enjoyable in some way. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!